Hi students and parents, it is Miss Richard here. This video is going to be a little bit about your concurrent distance learning. This is your orientation video to help you get started with concurrent distance learning at home. So if you are watching this video, it is because you are in concurrent distance learning, either because you're isolated or sick and starting to feel better and wanting to do your work, or you're a high-risk student who is staying at home, or if your family had concerns about you coming back to the school building, and so you were choosing to do concurrent learning for our first window of time until that next re-entry date. So let's talk a little bit about concurrent distance learning and what the procedures will be for you and what expectations will be for you as a student. So just like on the first day of school, when you come to class, your teachers teach you procedures, right? They teach you, where do I turn my papers in? They teach you, when can I get up to take a break or get water? They teach you how to have conversations in class. We're going to go over those same types of procedures for what it'll be like when you're home. And then same thing about expectations. What is it that we're expecting of you as a student when you are at home? And mom and dad, keep your ears open so that you can help your students to follow these procedures and expectations while they're home in distance learning. So before your first day of concurrent distance learning, what do you need to get all set up and ready? First thing would be supplies. So we are going to send all the supplies that we can possibly think of that you might need from school home with you. You'll have your Chromebook, you'll have your charger, you'll have any novels that you're reading, any textbooks from school. We will send as much as we can home with you. But in the event that maybe ELA finishes their unit faster than we expected and you need a novel, we will ask that you come to school, parents, and pick up that novel from school. If it's something, a supply that maybe it's a balloon to do a project, we may say, we have one for you at school if you'd like to pick it up. You're welcome to pick one up at the grocery store on your next Walmart grocery pickup, or if you have one at home, you can use that. So sometimes the items may be things that you might have at home or would rather pick up yourself, or we'll give you the option to come to school and pick up those things. As far as supplies at home, you are definitely going to need a printer at home so that if your teachers send you maybe an assessment that might be better to be done on pencil and paper, that you'd be able to print that and have it at home. In some of our classes, I know they do interactive notebooks. So the teacher may say, print this page and glue it to page 5 of your notebook. So you definitely are going to want a printer at home. And you're also going to want to set up your learning environment. So in that learning environment, you need to be thinking about space. What is going to be a good space for you to do your learning each day? Each day, it's best if you can find one spot that you do your learning at, whether it's the dining room table or a desk in the playroom or a desk in your bedroom. Maybe there's a desk set up somewhere else in your house for you, a table that's big enough for you to have your supplies. Wherever you sit, you need to make sure that it's going to be a quiet space, a space that you can focus, and a space that you can have all of your materials and supplies close to you. So you'll definitely want, like your pencil pouch that you would normally keep in your book sack at school, you would want to have with you at your desk. So we will be sending those supplies home with you. Your pencil colors, your highlighters, your Post-it notes, pencils, all those things need to be in wherever your learning environment is going to be during distance learning. You'll need to set up some routines. So what time do you want to wake up in the morning to make sure that you're at your computer and ready for your first class? You'll want to figure out, do I have time during the day to make my lunch and eat my lunch, or do I need to make sure my lunch is packed the night before, just like you would do if you're here in the school building? You know, as far as schedule goes, that you will be following the same schedule as your classmates who are here at school. So that part is already taken care of for you. But you will still have some of those same breaks that they do. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about your routines for your day. Oh, the other thing I need to mention to you is that you'll definitely need headphones with you in your learning environment. So we will have those for you to send home with you from school. But if you have a favorite pair that you would like to use at home, you're welcome to do that as well. Okay, so let's take a look at what will your day be like. When you are home in concurrent distance learning, you will follow your class schedule. So that is the schedule that your teachers will give you on the first day of class, or you can log into Fax and look at your schedule from there when you look at your classes. So you'll follow your class schedule in order. And for each class, you're going to log on to Google Meet using Google Classroom. I'm going to show you in just a second when you're in your Google Classroom how to get to Google Meet. But you'll use Google Meet. We're not using Zoom this year, but for those of you who were in distance learning last year, think about Zoom. Google Meet is very similar to Zoom. So you will log in at the beginning of every single class period all day long into Google Meet. And you'll start your class with prayer, just like the rest of your class will, who is in bricks, and you'll be in there for your teacher to give the agenda for the day. So they'll say, okay, class, today we're going to be whatever. And here are some examples of what could happen. They could ask for you to stay on the entire time in class in Google Meet, right? For live instruction. Maybe your teacher's teaching a full-on lesson and they want you there the whole time. So you would log on, say prayer, and then you'd stay on. It might be that day your teacher's doing some guided classwork, that the students who are in class are going to be doing some work and the teacher's going to be checking on them. In that case, your teacher will probably ask you to go ahead and mute yourself, and the teacher will mute the class so that it's a quiet space for you to work. And as they're walking around the room and checking on other students, one of their rotations will be to come to the computer and check on those of you at home. And they'll say, hey, anybody need help? And they'll check in with you. It could be that day in class is an assessment day, that there's a test to take. And so your teacher will say, please log on to Google Classroom and tilt your screen so that I can see the test that you're working on as you are writing on your test. Or they may say that it's an online test. Maybe it's a Google form that you're taking your test. And they'll say, please share your screen with me so that I can see your Google form. Anytime you're taking an assessment, your teacher will be monitoring your computer using GoGuardian, just like they do in class. So they'll be able to see what you're doing during your assessment. And then there might be times that you start the day in class with the prayer, and then the teacher says, okay, those of you at home, we're going to go outside and do our solar oven experiment, and I want for you to go outside and do yours at home and film it on your Chromebook and email it to me, and I'll touch base with you tomorrow. So there might be days that your teacher will tell you what your assignment is that you need to work on, and they'll touch base with you the next day to see how you did on that assignment. As far as your breaks go, you still will have recess, you still will have snack, and you still will have lunch. We very intentionally plan for you to have those breaks when you're here on campus, and we want for you to have those breaks as well when you're at home. So when it's time for recess, feel free to get up and stretch or go outside for a little bit and then come back and join your class at the start of the next class. You do still have your snack break, so run into the kitchen, grab a snack to eat, use that energy to fuel your brain, and then you do still have your lunch break as well. So you'll have those times set up just like your students in the rest of your class who are on campus. You'll also have grade level meetings with our distance learning liaison. The distance learning liaison's name is Miss Veed, and she will be working with students who are at home in concurrent distance learning just to make sure that you are keeping up with your work, if you have any questions. So every now and then, Miss Veed will send you an email and ask you to join her for a Google Meet session with the rest of your grade level who is home in distance learning. We'll create a little community among you to make sure that you have everything that you need, and Miss Veed will be checking in with you. So be ready to have those meetings with Miss Veed throughout your time while you're at home. She'll be your go-to and help you get in touch with your teachers too if you need something throughout the day and they maybe aren't on their planning period. So she'll be available for you at that time. Okay, I told you I was going to let you know how to get into Google Meet, so I'm sure you are familiar with this. This is one of Miss Ore's 8th grade writing classes. So you can see that right now we're in the stream. So when you log into your Google class, this is where you come. I want for you then to click on this classwork button so that you get to classwork. And from there, to get to Google Meet, all you do is click right here. There's a button for Google Meet. And when you click that, it will look like this, and you will say, join now, and you'll be in. That's it. So for each class, what you'll do is log into Google Classroom, click on the Google Meet button in classwork, and it'll take you to Google Meet to join your teachers for class. So each class period, you'll go to each of your Google Classrooms for that class and join your class via Google Meet. So what are your expectations? What are we expecting you to do during class each day? So we plan for you to log on to each of your classrooms during class time daily. You're going to check your fax account regularly for your grades and your conduct. When you're on campus, I know that you do that regularly, and you need to do that while you're at home as well. That way you're able to see if you have any missing work that needs to be done, and you also can see where you stand currently with your grades. Students, you are not to search for any inappropriate or explicit content at any time. I mentioned earlier that GoGuardian would be used for assessments. We do still have your computers monitored by the school at all times when you're home as well. So please know that. Also, students, you are expected to maintain your academic integrity, whether you are on campus or at home. We expect you to complete and submit your own work, not your classmates' work and not mom and dad's work, your own work. The infractions for not completing your own work are the same when you're at home as they are when you are on campus. So please be sure, let's have that academic integrity even when we're home. Other expectations. While you're in your online classroom environment, when you're on Google Meet, these are some things that we expect of you. Parents, here we go. We want for you to dress appropriately. And your attire for while you're at home is any spec shirt. You can wear your uniform shirt. You can wear a PE shirt. You can wear a spirit shirt. You can wear a spec team shirt. Any shirt that you have that has spec on it in our school colors is fine for you to wear at home. We understand that you are not in class, so you may not necessarily want to wear your uniform shirt every single day, and we want for you to be comfortable at home, but we do want for you to have some boundaries of appropriateness. So we want for you to wear a St. Pius shirt each day when you are logged into Google Meet with your classes. We want for you to be visible to your classmates and your teachers. It would be pretty awkward if all your teachers saw was the painting in the background. So let's make sure that they can see your face on the screen so that you're visible on the screen to them. Please use the mute button, the microphone, to mute unless your teacher asks you to do otherwise. Some of your teachers may say, okay, those of you at home, go ahead and unmute. And if you have any questions, call my name. Others may say, please type into the chat when you have a question and I'll come and check on you every now and then. Okay. You're going to use your headphones the entire time you're home. When you are logged into a Google Meet session with your teachers, we want you to have your headphones on for several reasons. Number one, those lessons are for you, and we want for you to be the one that hears them, not everyone else in your class. Not in your class, in your house. And also, we want for you to have your headphones on because it'll help minimize any other distracting noise that might be around you at home. Mom may be doing the dishes or vacuuming. Your older brother or sister may be on a Zoom call with their teacher, and you may be able to hear what they're saying because maybe they're home from high school as well. So we want for you to wear your headphones during any class instruction. That way you can hear your teacher or your classmates, but you won't be able to hear the distracting noise around you. So please make sure you wear those headphones. We would like for you to sit up straight. We don't want you to be laying down in bed or slouching. This is your classroom while you are home. We want you to stay on task and on topic. That means doing the work that your teacher has asked for you to do. It might be tempting when you're at home to want to be distracted and do other things. So we're asking that you refrain from being on your phone while you're at home. You refrain from visiting any other websites, just like you are at school. When you're at school, your teacher says only these certain websites are the ones you can go on. The same thing applies to while you're at home. We ask that you use the chat feature in Google Meet for on-topic classwork only, not, hey guys, what'd you do this weekend? That can be for separate time when you're just visiting with your friends. But when we're in class, we need for that chat to be about class. Maybe, I'm confused on number 7. Can anyone help me out? That would be a great time to use that chat feature. Try, just like if you were in the classroom, you would try to refrain from excessive movement to not disturb your friends. So we wouldn't be doing this in the classroom because it would be distracting to our friends. We would do the same thing when we're at home because they might be able to see you on the screen if you are working with a group or talking to someone who is in the school building. And then we ask that you participate appropriately. So if your teacher asks that you partake in the conversation and be a part of the discussion, please do so. If your teacher asks that you mute yourself while you're doing your work and then unmute if you have a question, please do so. If your teacher asks that you work with a group of students and brings the computer to the other students' desk so that you can work with them, please participate just as your teacher is asking you to. Regarding emails, while you're at home, I have a feeling that you're going to get quite a few emails, either from other students or from your teachers. So here's some expectations to help you with emails. You're going to check your emails daily, at least one time a day. If a teacher asks you a specific question, please reply to your teacher and refrain from replying all. If the teacher emails a whole grade level, we want for you to say reply so that you reply just to the one teacher, not reply all so that every single student in the grade level also gets your email. So let's make sure that we're only using reply. And then you'll use a simple subject line, a simple subject in the subject line. Don't put your whole email in that subject line. Maybe you say, question about chapter 1 would be a great subject line. Not, hey, Miss Evans, I have a question about chapter 1. Can I, Too much for that subject line. Just something quick to help your teacher know the question that you're asking, and then you'll put the rest in the body of your email. Last but not least, as far as expectations go, boys and girls, when you are at home, this is your class. And I say that with two thoughts in mind. So the first thing is that, or really three thoughts. So the first thing is that this is your class. The expectations that we have for you at school, as far as behavior and confidentiality go, also apply to you when you're at home. I'm picturing in my head, maybe one day one of your friends receives a conduct mark. They get a minor infraction during class, and you happen to hear that they got a minor infraction. Well, your reaction at school would be, that's none of my business. I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to say anything. That's for them and the teacher to handle. And so I'm just going to keep doing my work, right? That's what you would do at school. That same thing needs to happen when you're home. You'll have your headphones in, so you'll be the only one to hear. If there happens to be anything like that you hear, but we're asking for you to be responsible and to be confidential about anything that happens in your class. Okay, it is still your class, right? The same way that you would handle it if you were in school, that is our expectation for how you would handle it at home. The next thing, it is not your parents' class. It is still your work to do, just like if you were at school. Mom and dad don't need to be listening with their headphones in during class every day, because we want to see what you learn. We want to see what you can do when you're taking assessments or when you're completing work. And of course, we want to make sure that you're doing your own work. We already mentioned that once, but I'll say it one more time. This is your class. It's your work to do. And for assessments, we want to make sure that no one else is in the room with you, that your teacher can see that it's just you that's taking your assessment, because it's your class, right? It's your responsibility. And then the last thing is that it is your class too. It's not just the students who are at school's class. We still want for you to be a part of this community. We want for you to be engaged with the rest of your classmates who are at school. So if your teachers ask you to share and participate and call on you, be ready, because this is your community. This is your class too. And we want for you to still feel a part of our community all day long, every single day. Okay? So that was a little bit of procedures and expectations for while you are in concurrent distance learning at home. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, email me, or email one of your teachers or Miss Veed, and we'll be sure to help you out. But I hope that gives you just a bigger picture of what things will look like when you are at home in concurrent distance learning. In just a second, you're going to fill out the rest of the Google form saying that you have listened to this message with mom or dad, and that both you and your parents understood the expectations and procedures that were presented in this video, and that you agree to these terms and you are ready to learn concurrently with us while we are in bricks. We pray for your safety and your health and great learning while you are at home away from us, and we look forward to when we will see you back on campus again. God bless.